Hello everyone! The moment has finally arrived. I am going to swatch all 42 shades of the Beauty Bay Midnight palette. This palette is absolutely beautiful. My favorite color is purple. The cool colors in general tend to be my favorite, and I think they look the best on me. So I'm very partial to this palette, as well as the earthy palette with all of those greens. I have another video where I swatched all 42 shades of the earthy palette, so you can check that out. But today I'm going to swatch for you the entire Midnight palette, starting with rows 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6. So the first color I'm going to swatch for you is called Lavender. I'm excited by the fact that there's so many blue-based purples as well as warm purples. I'll point that out as I go. So this is a blue-based pale purple. The next one is called Fancy. It's even more pale, but it's kind of more like pink. It's got definitely some warmer undertones to it. The next one is called Regal, and it has more warm undertones as well. It's more metallic though. Next there's Sorcery, which is basically a warm purple without the metallic. Next I have Mystic, gorgeous kind of medium purple with a metallic sheen, more of a silver metallic, and more of a cool based purple. Next we have Dream. I have not used any of these for an eye look yet. Dream obviously looks very sheer. It's almost white, but it does have a slight purple hint to it. And the last on the top row is called Voodoo. Sorry about my nails, guys. That's just the kind of person I am, that I have messed up nails all the time. So sorry if that bothers you. But this one is called Voodoo. It's kind of a plum purple. Sorry, I'm trying to decide if I see cool or warm undertones, but hopefully the lighting is good enough that you can decide for yourself. It looks a bit on the warm side, but I'm not sure. Okay, and then starting row 2, we're going to start with Lilac, which is, well, I see it as the paler version of Lavender. I'm going to try to swatch some of these at the end next to each other so you can kind of see exactly what their comparisons are like. Next I have Sash, which is a metallic. It's a plum metallic. I hope you guys can hear me okay. Next, I love the name of this. It's just called 1993. It's just a beautiful, solid, slightly more warm-toned lavender than this one, but it's called 1993. I think this is kind of more of a neutral. Jellies is next, just kind of a medium purple metallic. Catch, which is more blue-based than this one. It's very close to Lavender. I'll have to swatch those next to each other so you can see. Next we have Ripple, which is another metallic purple. Well, obviously it's a purple. It's a metallic plum, but it's a little more cool toned than this one. And then last, I'm running out of space, but we have one called Tranquil. This pulls a little more purple than Dream, but it's obviously very pale, cooler toned purple. All right, let me wash these off and we will start with the next row. Okay, so we're going to move on with row 3, starting with Iris, which is a gorgeous medium purple, leaning a little more cool. The next is called Rich. kind of a warm toned purple. Not too light, not too dark. Next is Electric. Ooh, that is gorgeous. Obviously it's a metallic. There is kind of some glitter in there though. It's very much on the cool toned side. The glitter is kind of pinkish, silverish. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. Next is Periwinkle, which you might say is a little more blue. However, in the pan, it definitely looks as though it belongs in the purple section. The first 3 rows of this are purples, and the last 3 rows, the bottom 3 rows, are blues. This may, you may be able to get away as a powder blue, but it's called Periwinkle, and I think it's pretty close to that description, to that name. Next is called Gleam. I feel like there was a gleam in the Earthy palette as well. This is definitely glittery. More of a glitter than metallic, but it's got silver undertones, and if you can call silver undertones. It would make a great topper with Periwinkle, actually, or any of the blue-based purples. Velvet is next. It's a warm purple. A little bit more plummy, a little bit darker version of this one called Rich. The end of row 3, we have one called Lollipop, which is just kind of a lighter, warm-toned purple than this one and this one. Alright, and then I thought about swatching the 4th row separately since it does get into the blue spectrum, but I'm just going to go for it. The next one is called Cursed. It is a navy blue with a little bit of green visible. So you could call it a dark teal. Next is a metallic called Ocean. Oh wow, that's a lot darker than I thought it would be. That's kind of like a blue-violet color. That could kind of belong to the purple spectrum. The glitter is kind of greenish. It's an interesting color. Next we have Mist, which is just a gorgeous sky blue. Next is called Queen. Beautiful, solid, metallic navy blue. That's very, very pretty and very opaque. Next is called Bingo. I don't know which one would be called Sky Blue now that we've got both of these together. This is a lot lighter, obviously. Next is called Bubbles. Gorgeous teal metallic. Oh, I love these colors so much. Very cool toned, almost silvery glitter. Then the next one is just called Sea. It pulls a little more sky blue on the swatch, but it is a teal. Love it. Love it. Be right back. Alright, and for the 5th row, the first shade we have is called Sky. Oh my gosh, it is a gorgeous, opaque, silver toned sky blue. That's gorgeous. Next is Cerulean, which is my favorite crayon, and it's just a great medium blue. I'm such a nerd, I'm sorry. A nerd with bad nails. Next is called Shield, and it's the only green pulling one. You can almost get away with it as a seafoam green. Gorgeous, kind of light teal. Foam is next. It looks sea green in the pan, but it's going to swatch white. Next is called Cosmic. It's a dark navy blue with some almost black undertones, if black can be an undertone. It is a metallic. And then Denim. A little brighter than typical denim jeans, but I think that's an adequate description. And then finally Elixir. which is a bit more green than cerulean. Definitely still a blue though, so it's kind of a medium teal. These blues are definitely staining a bit more than the purples, so just take note of that. Next is called Hex. It's just a straight up black matte. Good to have if you're using it as liner or just having like a blue or purple smoky eye. Next is called Galaxy. It's a little bit lighter than this one, but it's another navy metallic. Next is called Twilight. Solid navy blue, a bit darker than this one. Next is called Steel. And it's basically a gunmetal gray, or slate gray metallic. A little darker than what I'd typically call silver, but it would definitely balance out some of the more gray leaning blues like this one. Nice to have included. Next is called Social. It's just kind of a sheer version of this. It's very similar. It's a little bit lighter. Not quite sure what that color is supposed to be doing. Second to last is called Potion. That is a beautiful glittery cerulean. A little darker than this one up here. And then Midnight is the last one, which is just a solid, very dark blue. So that is the 5th and 6th row of the Beauty Bay Midnight palette. Just in case anyone's wondering what I'm using to switch up the swatches, is Garnier Micellar Water. It looks like this. So I'm using this on my arm, letting it dry in between. Swatch videos are harder than people think because you have to get everything in frame and have the right lighting and not interfere with the colors for the next set of swatches. So this is what I'm using. Okay, so since the blues were a little harder to get off and stained a bit, I decided to move to the top of my arm to swatch some of the purples that are similar to each other. I'm going to go ahead and put Lavender down, which is the very first color in the swatch. Definitely blue-based. Next to it, I'm going to put 1993. Very slightly warmer undertone. I'm going to put Catch next to that. Definitely a bit lighter blue leaning, cool tones than Lavender. I'm going to put Iris and then Periwinkle just for comparison. Wow, Periwinkle looks solid blue here, but it does lean a little bit more purple in the pan. And obviously this one is the darkest out of these three. Let's do these light purples next to each other. First we have Fancy, which is the one that I think pulls the most pink. Dream, the whitest one. Lilac, which you can see is a little more blue-based than that one. Look at how stained my hands are, guys. These is after micellar water. The blues just really destroyed it. I'm going to do Catch again here, and then Tranquil. So this is probably, these two are probably the most opaque here. I just think it's interesting to swatch them next to each other because they are very different, even though they look similar in the pan. But I hate when I get an eyeshadow palette that's a lot of duplicates. Clearly these are slightly different. I decided to go ahead and swatch the metallic purples all together as well. So the first one is Regal. The next one is Mystic. Sash. It's a little bit sheer. Jellies. And Ripple. These two look very similar. This is a bit more opaque and less glittery. This is more metallic than this one. This one would probably make a better top coat. And I gotta say, even though my hands are stained from these swatches, these colors are still coming through strong. So it's not really being affected by what's underneath of them. They're holding their own. There are two other metallic purples, but they weren't as similar as these. I'll go ahead and put them here though. It's Electric. Boy, that is pigmented. And Gleam. This is more blue leaning. I'd say this is warm, cool, warm, cool. I'm not sure about this one. This is blue. This is more silver, pale blue, if you ask my opinion. Going on to the similar blue colors. First, I want to show you Bingo. Then C. As you can see, this is much more, it has a lot more green in it. Cerulean. Just a bit in between these two as far as green bases go. Elixir. Very pigmented. And then Social. These two are very similar. This has greenish tones in it, but it's the lightest of these. Beauty Bay sells these palettes in a 9-pan option and something in the middle. Something between 42 and 9. So if you're looking at these colors and wondering what one you should get, if you would do fine with the 9-pan palette, maybe this will help you decide, whether you want to splurge for more colors or if the ones that you like are actually in those palettes. And next, I might as well go ahead and do the blue metallics. The first one is Ocean. The next one is Queen. Oh gosh, this one just blows me away. It's a deep blue metallic. I think because it leans a bit purple, it's got my attention. These are all very different, but since I did the metallics for purple, I might as well go ahead and do these. I think there's a few more blue metallics than purple metallics. This one's called Bubbles. This is Sky. Shield. Cosmic. Galaxy. I'm gonna skip Steel because it's steel gray. I mean, you don't need to see that. And then that's Potion. They're all very pretty pigmented. Hopefully this will help you make decisions if you're deciding to purchase these palettes. Thanks so much for watching. See you soon. Did I say Cosmic? It should be Cosmic. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I hope I have room for 5 more. And oh my god, I cannot talk today. But it's just a solid medium blue. I need to stop for a second and fix my right hand with the colors on it. I am a fan of the... Why is this so freaking hard? You have so much to say and then you just sound like an idiot as soon as the camera comes on. My voice is weird.